This is the Crew Tour here on Xbox Series X, where the game has been given an update that will give us some more features for the next generation console. So be sure to like the video, subscribing is great as well. So we get two options. We get a performance mode, and we get, I guess you would say, a quality mode and or resolution type mode. So you go to the settings. Oh, and auto HDR continues to be available, I noticed, as well. So we're on performance mode. That means we're getting 1080p dynamic 60 FPS, and then there's resolution mode, which is a dynamic 4K resolution at 30 FPS. So both are little disappointing. Needless to say, I mean, like I get it's a large scale game. It's a large, it's the U.S. kind of being captured here in different ways, but it's also kind of like I feel something in the middle could have been done. I don't know. It's just, it seems really weird to get 4K 30 and 1080 60 on the Series X. That's just nonsensical, to be honest, and especially considering how long it took. But you kind of take what you can get. So yeah, with the performance mode, it's a lot more like we finally get the 60 FPS. That's the biggest thing. You want the higher frame rate. And, it does look a lot rougher, in my opinion. Like, it's quite a lot more jagged. I don't know if the game still quite looks as good as it, did upon release and stuff. I mean, I don't think it's necessarily aged perfectly, but you know what I mean? It's a decent-looking game, and I'm just kind of sitting here being like, oh, I really wish it would have been a little bit more, visually impressive is the biggest thing, especially since it was quite a wait to get this sort of option. But having the higher frame rate, yeah, that's nice to see. So it's online multiplayer, kind of these seamless worlds where you go and do a bunch of different races and competitions. But it's not just your car. There's boats and there's planes. We'll be showing that off a bit. I love driving through the kind of downtown area and checking out the the convention center, because I used to do E3 and stuff. So it's always kind of a little entertaining thing to go and do this, but little bits of destruction, it's a nice update to have, but it's not quite as advanced as I would have liked to have seen within this game. But yeah, the actual convention center, and it's pretty accurate, actually. I mean, I don't think the barriers are that tall, and I think there's a lot more spacing, but they actually do try to capture the world to a degree. Oh yeah, and the construction going on across the street too. Wonder what it looks like now. I haven't been back in years. That's funny. But yeah, you could kind of just I guess you would say, on the fly, kind of switch between the different. I mean, we're showing off the different perspectives right now that you can drive with, but you could switch between the different options of flying or using a boat. You can hop up into the air. You just don't care. You can travel to different areas. There's a radio. There's a photo mode if you'd like to do that. You can extend your map, which is nice. You can send out little emotes to people. There's a lot going on in this one. And then we use left on the D-pad, and you can see the live photo mode. So yeah, you can kind of be like, here's my vehicle and everything like that. And you make your character set up, and you work through a bit of a career. It's a neat sort of thing, you know what I mean? It does offer some really different dynamics. So they also, I guess, worked a bit on improving the shadows of the game and some pop-in type stuff a bit. I mean, obviously pop-in is still definitely something that's present within the game. But the biggest change here, I guess, is just, again, the 60 FPS mode. Just so that you can, have that higher frame rate, which I think is nice. But I would have loved some kind of middle ground. I don't see why we can't get something like 1440 60. I don't know. It seems like this is also a next gen kind of aware update, if that makes sense. It doesn't seem like they really fully optimize this for the platform, and I think that's a little disappointing, because it's actually a pretty neat game. There's a lot of stuff going on here. Did you know that the clouds have amazing volumetrics to them? I met the cloud dude. The dude that worked on the clouds for this game at PAX 17. I know, right? That was a long time ago. So, yeah, there's some neat stuff in this game. I think it's got some interesting different modes and competitions and things you can do, and it does, you know, it looks fine at times. It can actually look really, really nice. But at the same time, I'm kind of sitting here going like, huh, would have really liked, you know, that higher frame rate. I think would have been tops. Oh, we got the streak going out. We're gonna, as you could tell, I'm kind of moving towards the water. I do love the seamless change up between the different types of sporting, though. I think that's kind of cool. So yeah, kind of a clean thing. Oh, they've been taking strides towards improving the what would you call it? The environmental impacts. So like snow will actually kind of build up on, you know, your vehicles and whatnot, and same with like rain stuff. So they've been working on improving some of the smaller visual parts of the game. I'd say the biggest surprise is the fact that they're still, you know, kind of updating this game and supporting it. I was kind of expecting it to kind of get left behind a little bit, but no, they're still doing fresh seasonal things. Like I think this kicks off like a new season that they're working on. They've been working on. So, you know, there's quite a lot to this one, just in terms of different experiences you can have and different places you can go. Why is this like so slow? This cursor suddenly, it's a bit strange. But yeah, you could just travel to these different places, and it's pretty quick. Like, you know, the fact that you can go through the US in such interesting, fast ways, it's kind of neat. And you can get different vehicles. I mean, I don't have really too many exciting things, but you can get like bikes or, you know, off-road stuff. Like there's lots of different options, and there's different stories and tales you can dive into. A wide range of different disciplines for racing games. It's kind of just like a race the US kind of thing, if that makes sense. Like you just kind of take in the open world. I mean, obviously it's to a smaller scale, and you're building fans because you want to become more famous and whatnot and get more followers. So like there's, you know, there's a lot to like. I do kind of wonder why we haven't just seen them maybe work on like a third entry that like really kicks it off for the modern consoles. But you know, it's a nice little touch up to get something improved here for this open world, because it's ambitious. You know, there's lots of stuff. You actually feel to a degree in different places like you're actually in different spots. But I can see how there's a lot that really can be liked. I think Chicago is almost like a boring, overly used area that we do. But let's go and do a race. I'm not really a drifter. The one we've already done that, I think. New custom home. I guess I'm from Florida, Miami. Rally raid. I'm trying to find like something new that we can do. Did we do that one already? Street race, touring car. Alright, let's do this thing, even if we've done it. It's just like a different kind of race that we can dive into. Build to join event. You will play alone. Okay. Alrighty. So yeah, and then you get into the races and you kind of go. So it's just race, 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 drive, 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 fly, boat stuff, doing different like challenges. Oh, I thought this was an actual race competition. So we're just kind of breaking things. Are we actually supposed to break those things? Or maybe it's supposed to get the crates. So there's lots of different challenges. This actually looks a lot nicer than even like the open world stuff. Again, well, probably because it's like a actual circuit race setup, right? It's not just yeah, just driving around in the open world. And like I said, this is very much designed so that you can do this, you know, with others in lots of different ways. There's like multiplayer type event things that go up. There's a lot that you can see and do in this one, which is kind of interesting.
Oh, my shocks!
My shocks? What about my shocks? I think I'm just supposed to keep clubbing all of these things. That's what I do. I drive. I got the need for smashing speed. is not exactly what I thought I had signed up for. Can I actually smash this thing? No, okay, I cannot. Oh well. I was kind of like, oh, it'll be fun to break into these things, but alas, no. Some of the races can be like really quite engaging in terms of like the different places you go. You can like end up going all the way along like the countryside. You can end up in the cities, drift racing, cross-country racing. You know, obviously being out in the country, and it's just like a lot of the U.S. right, like just seeing all the different cool racing discipline options. It's like a hybrid of games almost, if that makes sense. Like some games just do one thing, this does like a whole bunch of random different things. So it could please a lot of different people. Yeah, you can whip around with your motorcycle if someone else is driving a car around and smashing things, you know, it's neat. And I've been mostly focusing on the performance mode, because I do assume that is kind of the mode that a lot of people are kind of expecting to see, or really wanting to see, is to actually get, you know, that frame rate, because they've probably been playing on the 30 for so long. They're like, oh, you know, I want something a little smoother. It's just, between the two of them, I was kind of really hoping for something a little bit more ambitious. I know I've said that, but like, it's just, when I finally heard the spec details, I was like, oh, that's all. I mean, it's like a decent looking game, but could look a lot better. At least I kind of wanted it to. Well, that was interesting. Don't worry, guys, we'll get out of here. Oh, I needed that crate. And this car has seen better days. Oh, and obviously you can improve, like, you know, you can change up your vehicles and stuff, you know, do colors and all that. I mean, I think that's almost assumed for racing games nowadays. At least I would think so, that you kind of, you know, are able to personalize and customize a lot of the details within the game. I mean, it's just kind of a given almost. Yeah. How many of these things do I gotta get? I feel like I've been smashing this stuff for ages.
Tight, but safe.
I wanted a more dynamic racing option. No crate in here? Alright.
Some jump.
Some jump? More like a complete fail of a jump on that one. That didn't go the way I wanted at all. There's not too much time left, and we're not even all the way there. I think I was supposed to earn more points. I don't know. I think I failed. Didn't even reach the finish line? Oh, that's rough. At least I'm all gaining my ability things. Okay, let me get out of here. I don't want to retry. Return into the free drive. I would say it's genuinely kind of impressive how quickly this loads, though. Like you're just in this seamless kind of world thing. Airspeed, ground, drift. I mean, we could do some flight competitions. Santa Fe. Well, what's the car thing? The Strange Case of the 1950s race thing? Yeah, let's do that. I got the need for speed. Oh, it's the DeLorean! We've got to go back to the future! That's actually a pretty funny coincidence on that one. I don't think the DeLorean was ever like a really good vehicle, but it's just kind of like Back to the Future makes it like this desirable kind of thing, I guess. Here we go. Oh, we've all got the nostalgic cars going on, I guess. But yeah, this should show off the racing pretty well. Give you a feel for that. Although we should probably actually show you the frame rate performance mode. And it changes pretty fast, like on the fly almost, which is nice. If you want to switch between them constantly, which is kind of illogical. But, you know, you do you. I think mostly just the racing fans are going to be like, oh, 60 FPS, that's smooth, that's fluid, and it'll be like, yep. That's what you were after, and you got it. Wow, we are really just rolling along here. Towards the checkpoint. Yeah, the game can look pretty decent at times, but at the same time, you could definitely be like, oh wow, racing tech has visually improved a lot. But it is such an open world. I'm such a mix between things because I'm like, it's such a cool concept that you can do this, vast U.S. location. But at the same time, I'm kind of like, ugh, it could look a lot better. I mean, it's also 1080p, right? So it's like, it's gonna be like jagged and stuff. It's not gonna be super sharp, like it could be or like it should be. Really, you just kind of deal with what you deal with, I guess. But it's not too bad. Oh, and you can change challenges and levels of difficulties, and there's all these different like event things you can do. Like the game's got a lot of different ways to play and like just tons of content. They've supported this one very, very well since release. It's kind of almost insanely impressive how much we've seen this game get added to. It's wild, and I think that in itself is just a nice thing that we even got like any sort of update. So with that, I don't have any more details. Just enjoy some more gameplay action of the Crew 2 in action. Yeah.
Red rocks and blue water. Add some kids and you've got yourself a swimming hole. It's gonna look like a postcard out there, but don't let that distract you from your run. There's gonna be some tight spaces to fit through.